Okay, we have our next demo lesson. Today's demo lesson is for high intermediates, B2 level. This one is conditionals untrue in present and future. Right, so you can see some examples here. If I had time, I would come. If I were rich, I wouldn't work. These are some conditionals when it's untrue in present and the future, as opposed to when it's untrue in the past. There's some very small nuances here, very specific, that you might want to be aware of. So if you haven't seen the first lesson on unconditionals untrue in the past, you may want to check that out as well. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in this demo lesson. Hey, this is Michael with Michael's Business English. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michael Rincon. I'm a former six-figure data analyst turned ESL instructor and career coach. I support English language learners improve their career development through communications and language training. If you're new here, on this channel we talk about business English, communications, and career development. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you like and subscribe, and all the links mentioned in this video will be found in the description box below. Okay, welcome to this demo lesson on the conditionals, where we'll be talking about conditionals that are untrue in present and the future. This is a B2 level lesson, so this is for high intermediate students to low advanced. So you're in the right place if you're pretty advanced with your English and you're ready to take on the next level. So the objectives of this lesson are to use the second conditional form and usage. We're going to introduce the concept of how the speaker feels the statement is untrue in the present and future. We're going to use to be in second conditional and the choice between was and were for I, he, she, or it. And we're going to introduce if I were you for advice and opinion. So keep in mind that for the second conditional, we use the past simple if it's in the if clause and would and in the result clause, but we are referring to the present and future. In the if clause of the second conditional with the verb to be, we can use either was or were for he, she, or it. Were is more formal. Right, so we're going to actually go through a review of the first conditional. Let's go here now. So which of these sentences are first conditional? Right, remember, we got to double check to make sure you're ready for this stuff. So it's a concept check. So for example, if I don't eat a good breakfast, I'm usually in a bad mood by lunchtime. Is that a first conditional or is it not a first conditional? Right? Let me know in the comments what you think it is. I'll tell you the answer in a minute. How about this one? It's great. It's a great idea to eat healthy food as much as possible. Is that a first conditional? Or is that not a first conditional? Right? So let me know in the comments. And then I go back to the first one. Right? So the first one is actually a first conditional. Right? If I don't eat a good breakfast, I am usually in a bad mood by lunchtime. Right? So if, right? The second one is not a first conditional because there's no if clause. Right? It's a great idea to eat healthy food as much as possible. There's no if clause, so it's not a conditional. Let's keep going. So here's another concept check to review if these are first conditionals. So which statements are true? Right? A first conditional statement has two parts, an if clause and a result clause. Refers to the past, present, and future, and is true for the speaker and the speaker feels it's possible. So what we're conducting to see is like which of these is true, which ones is false. Right? So got a pen. Is this correct? Is the first conditional has two parts, an if clause and a result clause? Yes, it does. So this is correct. Let me put a check mark. How about this one? Does a first conditional sentence refer to the past, present, or future? No, it does not. A first conditional does not refer to the past. It only refers to the present or the future. How about this one? Is it true for the speaker and the speaker feels it's possible? Is that a first conditional? Yes, that's true. Good. Let's keep going. Oh. So remember, like this is, if you feel this, sure, this is a conditional statement, whether it's the first conditional is true for the present or the future. Right? A first conditional is when it's true, the speaker feels the situation is true for the present or the future. If you study, you will pass with the exam. You feel this is sure. So here's some more first conditional sentences. I think we can go ahead and skip this because I want to cover the second conditionals. Nope, skip. Here we go. So here's first and second conditional. So both first and second conditionals refer to the present or future, and both have an if clause plus a result clause, right? If I have time after the meeting, I'll meet you for coffee. In the first conditional, the speaker expects this to happen. Like, we believe it will be true. We are confident it's true. We're sure it's going to happen. If I had time after the meeting, I would meet you for a coffee. In the second conditional, the speaker doesn't expect this to happen. That's the difference between the first and the second. The first is that we believe something's going to happen. The second is that we don't believe something's going to happen. Okay? So if I have time, I will come. If I had time, I would come. Notice the tense that we're using, right? Which tense are we using? The second conditional uses the past simple in the if clause, even though it's still referring to the present or future, right? If I had time, I would come. So that's a very important nuance to understand here. Here's some more examples for second conditional, right? So if clause, if plus past simple tense, result clause would. Here's an example. If we had time, we would take a vacation. Remember, the result clause can come first or second in the sentence, right? So it doesn't matter if it's first or second. Florence would buy a new car if she saved a lot of money, but I don't think this will happen, right? Be careful. We use the past simple in the if clause, but it refers to the present or future. I'm going to repeat that again, right? Now we've got some exercises coming up. So here, I want you to practice the second conditional. Remember, if clause, past simple, and result clause would, right? So take these sentences and try to fill them out. I know we brought train tickets, but if we blank by plane, it blanked so much faster, right? So what's the answer here? What words do we use, and what would be the way we respond to it, right? So the first one is like, but if we, what do we use here? This is where it gets tricky, because you see the words are not in the correct tense. They're not in the correct tense here. So I'll give you a shot, but let me go to the next sentence, and we'll come back and see if you got it right. So put the answer in the comments, and I can give you feedback, right? So here's another one. If I blank the lottery, I blank my job immediately, but I don't think it will happen, right? So remember that the words are in their present tense. We got to use the past simple. So what do we use here? So for the first one, if we brought train tickets, I know we brought train tickets, sorry. I know we brought train tickets, but if we went, right? Why is it went? Right? Why is it went? Why do you think it is went? Went's not on there, right? Like, I don't see went. Do you see went? So what's the other word? Let's see, maybe you got this, maybe you didn't, but let me do the other one. But if we went by plane, it would be so much faster. Okay? So why is the first one went instead of go? Oh, let me change the color. Why is it go? Why is it went? Because the go, the past tense of go is not go. There is no past tense of go. It's went. Right? So how about this one? What's the next one? That's why it's go, and would is the result clause. Would be so much faster. What about the sentence? If I blank the lottery, I blank my job immediately. Well, I don't think it will happen. So the first one, what do you think it is? If I won. Remember tense. Remember past simple tense here, guys. Right? So it's not, because it's not if I win the lottery. It's not if I find the lottery. Maybe it could be if I find the lottery, but it's not this one here. If I won the lottery, I quit my job, right? I would quit. Would quit my job immediately. Why is it would quit? Why is it if I won instead of would? Because remember, past simple tense. Okay? Alright, so now I want to cover the homework real quick. So we're going to cover conditionals, and we're going to cover, this section is use the correct verb and the correct tense as well as the appropriate, whether it's first conditional or second conditional, right? So if Raj blank more experience in marketing, he would get promoted. So what do you think the answer is? If Raj, what? If Roger get? Is it if Roger tell? Is Roger be? If Roger have? Just speak, right? Oh, what's going on with my form? It's weird. Anyway, if Roger, right? What's the answer here? Step it in. I think it's if Roger had more experience in marketing, he would get promoted. You could also do got, but I think it's like got more experience, but that wouldn't be, that could work as well. If Roger got more experience in marketing, he would get promoted, but I'm pretty sure it's had. Pretty sure it's had, in my opinion, right? If we don't take so many books to Venice, our suitcases what should be the word here? This is interesting. If we don't take so many suitcases here, some books over Venus, our suitcases would be lighter. Right? Okay, let's keep going. Change these sentences into second conditionals. Right? So if I'm not on duty tonight, we can go to the cinema. So how do we do this? Remember that second conditional is past tense, right? So if I wasn't on duty tonight, we could have gone. Right, we could go to cinema. Remember, the second conditional is past tense, even though it's talking about the present and future, right? Past, present. Sorry, I'm going bonkers here. We go to the next page. Write the correct answer in the space provided at the end of each sentence. If the weather forecast is, will be, or were correct, we will have lots of sunshine here today. The weather forecast, interesting. I think it is. If the forecast is correct, we will have lots of sunshine today. It could also, if Jeanette were here, she would help us to fix the problem with the software. If Jeanette were here, she would help us to fix the problem with the software. Right? I think that's enough. Let's look at one more assignment real quick. Complete these sentences using the second conditional. If I were a famous actor, I would be famous. Boom. Very simple. Okay, that's enough examples of the homework. Let me know if you guys have any questions. If not, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Have a good day.